What's the worst thing you discovered about yourself online? I was making avocado toast when my mom called me sobbing so hard she could barely breathe. I can't believe you're leaving me forever. I dropped my knife out of confusion. I'm not leaving you, I chuckled back. Yes, you are, she yelled through tears. You're having a wedding in Dubai and you're never coming back. She broke into a loud sob. Mom, I'm not getting married. I'm not going to Dubai. What are actually you talking about? I insisted. Honey, you literally told me last night on the phone. We spoke for an hour about how you're moving to Dubai. I sat there stunned. Last night I had fallen asleep early. It would have been impossible for me to even call her. I told my mom I wasn't going anywhere and hung up to go figure this out. I looked down at my phone and that's when I noticed the text from others congratulating me. My bestie had sent me a link saying, "You texted this to me this morning, but I wanted to make sure it's real." I opened the link with shaking hands and saw my full name paired with a man's name I'd never met and a wedding dated for next Thursday. There were 50 items, all purchased and being shipped to an address in Dubai. I was still processing everything when my doorbell rang. The delivery driver handed me a garment bag with a wedding dress that had my exact size with a receipt showing it was custom ordered 3 weeks prior. More deliveries showed up, handing over a matching jewelry set and luggages with tags leading to the address to Dubai. I searched for the man's name online and found nothing. No social media, no LinkedIn, nothing. It was like he didn't exist, but someone was spending massive amounts of money to make this wedding real, a wedding I wanted no part of. Then I found the answer. I did a reverse image search on my own photos to see if they'd been used somewhere. That's when I found it. American bride seeking traditional husband splashed across a website. Someone was trying to sell me as a mail order bride. I felt my whole body trembling swiping through my profile. There were intimate photos from my Instagram, professional headshots from my LinkedIn, even more private photos from years ago. Photos that only one person had access to, my ex-boyfriend Jerry. I remembered making him delete them after breaking up 2 years ago, but apparently he'd left copies. The rest of the profile had intimate details about my body, birthmarks, scars, preferences, things only Jerry would know. The bio said I was desperate to escape my boring life and wanted a man who would own me completely. And the seller promised I'd be docile, eager, and trained. Then I saw something that nearly made my heart stop, a shipping date for tonight. Suddenly I heard the door jiggling. I heard a brass key slowly slip into the keyhole and immediately sprung into action. I grabbed a pepper spray from my nightstand and hid under my bed. I watched from the crack of my door as 3 men walked inside, carefully checking each corner. "Delivery," one man said in a mocking tone as they searched every room for me. They entered my room and stopped near my bed. Suddenly, "Boo!" a man said as he pulled the mattress off the bed and grinned at me. I screamed and tried to activate the pepper spray, but the button had gotten stuck. They chuckled. One of them crouched down and grabbed my ankles, pulling me out from underneath. "Time to go, babe," a familiar voice said. I looked up and saw the face of my ex, grinning back at me right as he placed a gag in my mouth and zip-tied my hands together. "Your new owner is waiting." I breathed heavily against the gag, trying to fight back against my panic. They dragged me into a van and drove for an hour until all the lampposts disappeared. The van came to a halt and Jerry dragged me out and pushed me onto the cement floor of a private airport somewhere clearly outside the city. He removed the gag and I immediately screamed for help, but this only made him laugh. "No one around here for miles, sweetheart." I glared at him. "You're trafficking me? You're selling me like I'm property?" His face twisted into that smile I used to fear. "You left me, told everyone that I hurt you. I mean, it was true, but that was our secret. But I knew you loved it, being a little toy. So now, you get to be a rich man's toy in Dubai." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. "You're actually insane," I told him. "No, I'm rich. And your cargo." He nodded to the men. "Get her ready." The men placed the gag back on and placed a pretty little wedding veil on my head. I screamed and fought against their grip, but it was too late. A plane from Dubai landed and more than a dozen armed men stepped out. I watched a well-dressed Middle Eastern man step out in an expensive suit with ruby rings on each hand. "Finally, she's all yours just like we discussed. I've got her documents right here." Jerry grinned. But the man looked at Jerry with a disgusted expression and pulled out a badge. FBI. Full story on channel linked below.